Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. We've got the Harbour Bridge behind us here somewhere. There we go. Beautiful. Now, I have been on a long walk, and while I'm walking, I get these amazing ideas, which is why it's so good to get out, walk, and really do things that make you feel energized so that you can use that energy for the other things that you're doing, such as investing. Now, today, I wanted to have a chat to you very quickly because I have my little magic bag here, and I've got some strawberries. I've got an orange, and I know that obviously I talk about investing, and when we're talking about investing, we're talking about money, and we don't want to waste our money because we want to be able to invest it wisely, and we want to put as much of that into our investments as possible. So we don't want to waste things on things that are not going to bring us joy or happiness or all that kind of thing. So let's say we have a lot of money and we take it and we spend it on something that gives us joy for only a few moments, and we don't really, enjoy it after that. So that's a bit of a waste. But the same thing applies to our food. So when we are going out to buy food, we want to make sure that the food that we buy, that we're going to use it, that we're going to enjoy it, that it's going to bring us happiness and joy. So we can buy one of two kinds of foods. We can buy fresh foods like this, or we can buy packaged goods that are long life. So long life milk, cereals, different things that are in boxes that the supermarket makes a bigger margin on that they want to sell us, but that might not necessarily be as good for us. So the interesting thing around that is that if we do end up buying oranges and strawberries and different other fruits and vegetables, they have a shorter lifespan, and that shorter lifespan is going to mean that we are going to have to use it within a certain amount of time. So it's good to have a meal plan around that. Should we, for example, buy a bunch of oranges rather than individual oranges, and we don't use them all, then at the end of the week, some of the oranges might start molding, they won't taste as good, and we might end up having to throw some of them out. Now that's a zero return on investment on the oranges that we bought because they're not going into our bodies in order to be able to produce energy. And it's very interesting to look at food this way because it correlates back to our investing, because the money that we receive is very similar. So it can also give us energy. It is energy in order to be able to make sure that we're investing it and using it for energy in the same way that we eat an orange. So very, very fascinating. Okay, so I also have my coconut water because you need to stay hydrated. But here's a very interesting thing. A lot of people will see me with seaweed, and I am often eating some seaweed, and there's a very important lesson in the reason why I have seaweed, and that is that one day, so I go to the doctor maybe once every 7, 8, 9 years just to do a checkup. And I went to the doctor, and somebody suggested I actually go to the doctor this time around because I wasn't planning to. It had only been about 2-3 years since I'd been to the doctor, so there was no need for me to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor in order to be able to check my B12 level. Somebody told me that vegetarians, and I'd been vegetarian for about 7 years by this stage, tend to have low B12. So I went to the doctor and I got the test done. And the doctor told me that my B12 was at around the bottom limit. So I still had B12, there was nothing to worry about, but it would probably be good to supplement. And the reason she told me to supplement is because she said vegetarians do not have access to B12. And it's only found in meat products, and you cannot get it from a plant-based diet. Now, I could have taken the word of the doctor, and this is what we very often do. Our brains like shortcuts, and our brains will look for a shortcut to find who we can trust in order to be able to get this information that